Well, yes, now it's time to talk about North America and more specifically Canada. Now, Canada has just been in so much turmoil. There's a fire that we thought went out that was sparked and raging just months ago, feels like. Now it's still going. In fact, Aaron is going to be joining us here to talk about why this is happening, who's behind it, where is it going next. And we know all the satellite radar systems, if you recall, the most infamous one that they saw from above were the fires in this original Canadian fire started at the same time, in concert, in unison, in the same area. Who's behind it? And are we going to have an official statement of who's behind it? Because the country of Greece just did. They just arrested 79 arsonists the other day. To talk about this and a whole lot more as we get to the bottom of the barrel of investigations here is our very own Aaron Cates. Aaron, I was surprised to hear right away after the coverage of Hawaii. I was very surprised to hear that, there's now new fires in Canada on top of the fires that never went out.
That is correct. We are burning. We're a burning country, Dean. It's insane.
Right. So we're just kind of roughly right now, what in the world is happening just before we get really into it? Because a lot of people are shocked to even hear this right now.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Well, our prime minister is calling climate change, and that's the only option. There's no other option. They never come out and ever said, even though when RCMP arrests people, and there's they claim that there's arsonists, and in Vancouver Island, I heard that there was like 46 fires. 46 of them were all arson. Nova Scotia, there was people got arrested. Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, people got arrested from RCMP, and even in BC. So almost every province, there's been people who have got arrested for arson. The media does not show any of it at all, anything in the mainstream media. And we're going to prove to you today. I'm going to do a science project. It's called Working Your Way Backwards to find out what the solution is. So we're going to go with, let's see, what would be the purpose of these fires being started? So let's go into the purpose.
All right, so let's go into the purpose. That, right? And we're going to start backwards. This is a very Quentin Tarantino of you, Aaron. I applaud it.
It is.
All right, here it is.
Right. So
all right, what is it? So the 5G, go ahead.
So let's go. We'll start with another 15-minute city. How interesting that just Kelowna is one of the first initial Canadian cities to start this smart city and 5G and everything like that. Same thing with Maui, same thing with other places. 5G. So that's could be the purpose, folks. We know what 5G, the 15-minute city stands for. And this is supposed to be an example, our first example. So that is going to be our purpose in this science.
We did conduct a planned ignition on that fire last Thursday. We did it cautiously. We knew the winds were coming. As those winds were approaching, going through the Caribou Fire Center, there was a continuous line of fuel between the main body of the fire and all of the communities along the North Shuswap. Unfortunately, with the wind that we knew was forecast and that was coming, that fire went above the control line that we burned off from and then swept back into the communities in the North Shuswap.
Let's summarize what we just witnessed there. This is a person who was part of the arsonists, or the team of arsonists, rather, that ignited this whole thing. Is that my understanding?
Here, let's go into deeper. That's a government official admitting to Canadians that they started the fire as a control fire 2 days before the fires really started taking off. And the winds were picked up about, I think, 30 miles an hour. They should not have done it. And I'm going to read you a testimonial, small little testimonial from a local BC resident. And he says, I'm a BC timber faller who fought fire for many years, starting in the 1980s as a teenager. I do not find this account of what happened to these experiences surprising. In the 1980s and 90s, when the Ministry of Forests hired people off the streets, we did a better job of containing and extinguishing fires than the BCWS does today. We never used backburns back then like we do have in the past 20 years. The fact that backburns are being lit 10 kilometers from the targeted fire needs to be investigated. Local residents should keep an eye on their scorched landscape around their communities. They should document who is salvaging burnt timber and where the logs are going. Stumpage for salvage timber is 25 cents a cubic meters, basically free. So basically, this it's a testimonial from a BC resident, and he's saying that anything within 10 kilometers, and these guys are really close to the cities. They didn't notify a lot of the residents that this was happening. There was no alarms going off, no cell phones went off. The winds started picking up. It was official. The government official clearly admitted that they started these fires 2 days before. And why are they doing control? It just happens to be in this area. No one's notified. Also, water was shut off. We have a video where people were trying to get to their water and the water was shut off. absolutely insane. And Dean, just starting to see mirror images of what's going on in Maui here.
It's the climate change that Justin Trudeau, the whore of Havana, Babylon, and hell, and every place that just is just full of fury and hate. He's now trying to convince the just peaceful people of Canada that are just taking it with stride and loving it. Not everybody, but some of them. And, they're just no friends of mine. Here it is.
Okay, so we got.
Oh, there's climate change. I love TikTok too. They have just the narrowest videos, like from across space. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, we're looking at a.
Okay, so that's the border.
Okay,
that's definitely not my hand, but that's the border between BC and Washington State. As you can see, if you play the video, the fires will start lighting up all at the same time. It eventually will happen all at the same time, same spot. This is very similar to what the video that we saw in Quebec and Ontario. And how is it that fires from all over the different province and Washington State are starting all at the same time? Does anyone not find that very interesting? Because I find that very interesting. Does someone hit a button? Something's really, really strange going on. So we've got fires starting at the same time. We've got government official admitting that they start controlled burns. So is there other controlled burns that they're starting at the same time? But this is satellite imagery. This is before the fire. That's north. Now that, that's on the Alberta BC border. You can see starting. It's absolutely insane. This is just this is legit. What? It's climate change. All the fires just happen to be starting at the same time. All the fires.
Oh yeah, yeah. What a coincidence! What a coincidence! What a coincidence!
Right. There you go. There's Kelowna. That's where it's being burnt right now.
Like that's the fire I want to start in Justin Trudeau's living room. We're just giving you a little sample of what I'm going to be doing for July 4th. Canada doesn't have July 4th. That's okay. I'm going to bring it to Canada. Yeah, I will.
There you go.
And it's going to come down here next, just like the communism starting and coming from China that goes to Canada. They bring it to the States. So, yeah, Canada's the gateway drug of fascism and just everything communist and everything unholy, ungodly, and just really bust your hump on Hump Day.
So the only thing that the mainstream media is saying is that it's climate change, and that's the only option. It's just like taking the miracle. That's safe and effective. It's the only option.
Yeah, you know why, Aaron? Because they're not humans. We're fighting aliens now.
Or demons. That's the new narrative. I think we're fighting demons, to be honest.
Yeah, demons. Yeah, that's what we have to do, and we just have to rip them to shreds.
You know what? In Maui, they would have sold me a little bit if maybe Oprah's house got taken out or Bezos or some of the others. But the fact that they missed the entire Hollywood elites. And here's the kicker, guys. Usually people, especially Hollywood elites, they'd be screaming with T-shirts and hats right now. So let's raise some money for Maui. We just donated $1 million here, $1 million there. Not one Hollywood elite other than Oprah Winfrey's pillows that she brought to some people. Not even food and water. Yeah. Pillows she brought to people while they were hanging out, I guess.
Pillows. Oh, really? Yeah, you know what you do with the pillows? You say, hey, Oprah, thanks for this pillow. Come here. And then you just suffocate her. Like Facebook.
I could read your mind on that one. I could totally read
We're back on Facebook now. We're back on Facebook because of Aaron's burlesque music that he played earlier. We got taken down. Totally. So you can thank him for it. That's Aaron Cates in Toronto, P.O. Box. What is your address? Okay.
Toronto Blue Jays.
All right, take it easy, Aaron. Let's continue now here. Now we're going to get to. We're going to show this old man in the sea here. I believe it is. Am I correct? In fact,
no, he's in Kelowna, I believe. Oh no.
Yeah. So, okay. And the UN's coming in. Is the UN helping everybody in Canada?
My friend Chris Guy developed. He put this out a couple of days ago. They had pictures of United Nations coming in. Why are we hiring international, people to come and assist us? It doesn't make any sense.
They're stealing Canadian jobs. They're stealing the Canadian jobs to be tyrants.
And I got to be honest, a lot of people are trying to go into the cities and put out the fires themselves. And of course, government officials are blocking people from going out and doing that, including delivering food and water and trying to put out these fires.
This is why all the cops now today, compared to the cops of yesterday, they have just mustaches and eating friendly donuts. The ones today, they're all like skinhead, shaved heads. On steroids. They love drinking Bud Light. They have cauliflower ears, and they want to punch you right in the face first, then ask you questions. Maybe if you're lucky next, or sometime down the hallway.
As your house is burning, I heard kids were like in the house or something. They wouldn't let parents go and try to like help get their kids out. Parents had to run around the cops to try and like save their kids. like what would you do? Just wait there and just have for the cop to tell you what to do? No, your instincts got to kick in at some time for survival.
Let me
People are
read
actually
this.
village idiots. A lot of these people,
Yeah,
village
I know,
idiots. That's
and
what
they're like Mounties and Bobbies. Let me read this real quick. This is very poignant. I don't usually do this during the show, but here it is. Tina Jensen says, "I'm on Vancouver Island, and we had heard the same as Maui in the shoe swap. Police are not letting in supplies and have spike belts on the roads. They're not letting neighboring communities help. People are taking supplies via boat, same as Maui. It's disgusting. It's blatantly obvious what is happening all over the world. Land grabs in the cities. They signed up to be the 5G poster cities." Yes, that's right.
that is
Thank
correct,
you, Tina.
yeah. That is correct. Yeah.
Thank you, Tina. And yeah, they're the enemies. Anyone that's stopping a swift boat of supplies are the enemies. Take that to count.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. All these people are
It
not
is
allowed in
insane,
and
right?
out. A lot of people are not allowed in and out. You're not allowed to bring water, food to try and save your property. They shut the water off. I have a video where they shut the guy's water off, and people are complaining that they're not able to put the fires out. But they have saved several towns. The people have. The government officials have just been, stopping people from trying to do a full job. But people have actually, did the job themselves, worked around the government officials and saved towns doing it on their own.
Here 3 friggin' times we were trying to get pumps and generators in here and parts for our pumps are falling apart.
So what are you being told exactly?
I've been just told, well, we got to talk to the higher ups, It's almost like the government, I'm not joking, it's like the government doesn't want anything done. They want to do it themselves. They want to control us. I don't know what the hell it is. I mean, that's weird, but that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
That is weird. That's how he feels. Aaron, I want to ask you real quick before we move on here, is this now awakening the sleepy Canadian, the sleepy Canucks? I mean, is this an eye-opener? Because I find it very hard to believe, and I don't see it at all, anyone saying, oh, this is due to climate change. Yeah, the mushroom clouds are climate change.
Well, you know what?
What is the consensus?
Okay, the consensus, first among my peers, everyone's saying this is not climate change. This is about your taxes, but this is actually not only about taxes. They have increased taxes, like on gas, they're charging like an extra 60 cents a liter just for it's called a carbon tax. I think that in the U.S. maybe they might be starting that, I heard, but in Mexico and U.S. currently, I don't believe that they do have that, but it's just another way to tax the citizens. On the other hand, I think the main goal here is to put people into the 15-minute cities. A lot of people, Canadians, do not know about 15-minute cities. They also don't know a lot about the central digital currency. So all we can do is try to wake people up, try to get them to understand that it's not only about the tax, but it's also about 15-minute cities. 15-minute cities are not good. They are scary because with one flick of the switch, it can shut you down, whether it's financially, whether you're driving your car, your electric car, all of a sudden they shut you down, whether you can get into your house, where you can travel, where you can eat. That it's just all a whole sort of like a digital prison. So we don't want to have the opportunity where they have a chance to shut us down. So Kelowna is the first one in Canada that's supposed to be like sort of an initial starter for cities. And that is why I believe that the World Economic Forum wants to take that over. And it's no different than, it's a mirror image, exactly what's going on in Maui. It's very sad, but Canadians, they didn't listen to a lot of the government officials because they went with their guts and survival of the fittest sort of, set in, fight or flight. A lot of cities, actually, villages were saved because Canadians decided to take it upon themselves. And you know what? We can't let the government officials try to,
No. This is not your government, and this is all coming in time as the new mandated rollouts come back again, like a scorching case of herpes, which is the best description for Justin Trudeau, who I would love to rip limb from limb and dangle it right in front of his face.
There's another one starting over there. Right there. There's another one starting over there. Right there.
I go, I'm going home. And it was getting hot, I go, I'm going home. And where that helicopter is, I probably don't smell you.
Unbelievable. Where is this, Aaron?
Yeah, what you just saw was in Kelowna, and it's one of a beautiful place in the interior of BC, in the middle, and basically one of the best golfing courses in the world there. Like just incredible greenery was. Maybe they saved half of it, but
I want to make sure there's ample amount of time to get their statements on record here tonight. The just cultural appropriation and Marxism now happening in Canada, like you've only read in a George Orwell novel. It is now full on right now. It is now full on right now.